Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, or evening, or morning, or whatever it may be where you are. And welcome to Gratitude Happy Hour. I'm Terry Angel, and I have with me in the studio Andrea Adams Miller. Hi, darling.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. I always love spending time with Terry Angel.
I love it. Yes. And being with you and all of your positive energy, it lifts me up every time that I'm
Aw.
with you. So thank you for being with us again tonight.
Absolutely. Today was an interesting day because tomorrow is the National Day of Joy. And so today I was on a
Yes.
program and we were talking about joy and they were asking me about happiness and smiles. And I was explaining to them that the reason that people's faces hurt when they smile is because it's a muscle that's not been exercised enough. So if you're at the point where your face is hurting, that means you need to smile even more. It's like going for that marathon. We're doing face
Yeah.
aerobics here.
That's right. Absolutely. I love that. And I knew you were on that panel today. I think I'm going to be on with her tomorrow. And
Nice.
we're talking about happiness, which, of course, that's right up my alley because I am a happiness coach and I love helping people uncover their happiness. It's
Well,
something that's,
that's what's so cool in this world too is, another thing to talk about for gratitude is connection. So I'm a connector. And so Ken Rochon, who will be on with us at some point here, he's the co-founder of the Keep Smiling movement. And I'm the executive director, Andrea Adams Miller. And Ken connected me to Carla Reichert, who owns Gigglefest University and then does this Mind Plore. And then she was like, Andrea, I need variety of people. I need amazing people who are happy and positive. And I said, well, I think I know somebody named Terry Angel. And and of course, Ken already knew you as well. And so it was a really great opportunity. I call it making triangles. I got a vision at one point that the world is actually made of triangles. And the three-sided triangle of, so like me, you, and Ken. And then if someone breaks away to do something or does something else, we have another open triangle over here which allows somebody to complete that triangle and somebody to come in and complete that triangle. And then they break again. And it doesn't mean that they need to break in a negative way, but that they
right.
engage to accept someone else. So it's kind of like they're always pivoting to bring in someone else. So the triangle keeps moving so that we can add and bring people into the world and create community. And community is not the word that was downloaded to me, but it's certainly what it does seem to make.
It does. It does make community, and community is so important, and especially right now in this day and time when everything
Yeah,
is so up in the air. And yeah, we want to gather our energies together. We don't want to go through any of this alone. So yeah,
absolutely.
let's make more community. The more, the better, and the more we can add the smile in, even better yet, right?
Right. So for you, Ken and I are so appreciative of you and how you stand up for gratitude and happiness in the world and being a happiness strategist. That's why we both really enjoy being around you because it does resonate. Resonate, that might not be the right word. If you know the right word, fill it in and write it down below for us. Where maybe elevates the frequency, and we mean the
Mhm.
frequency of vibration, because if we are all energy and matter, which we are, I mean, science says we are, and then by
Right.
when we're together, we actually can feel that vibration. That's why you literally in a room can feel like energy happening, and that's why when people who are really positive and wonderful together, things like the internet and lights don't work.
Yeah. Yes, energy does play with all of the electronics, doesn't it? And we found that out last night.
Yeah, yeah. So Ken, Terry, and I were on Speaking with Angels, and we had a private Speaking with Angels session because only the angels that were above Ken's head, which was really funny. He had these streaming lights above him, and it was very obvious that he was being enlightened and aglow at that moment. It was quite interesting, especially because the lighting at his office is a fluorescent and there was no reason for these lights to be beaming down from above. That the lights don't do that there. That's not how they operate.
Right. Yeah. But I've got it on camera. I did record it. So we have evidence of Ken with his angelic rays up above him.
Well, that'll be fun, and we'll just go ahead and let him know that he was angelic, and we'll let that go right to his head because that's where it was shining.
Oh, maybe we'll keep that secret between us.
No, I like teasing him about it instead. I have learned that I've been with him for 5 years, and the guy is a genius. I really am sometimes blown away by his brilliance to come up with really cool marketing ideas, his tenacity to make things happen no matter what obstacles come his way. Like I'll even I'll even put up obstacles for him sometimes, and he'll just blaze right through them. So and so I've just learned that he has a certain knack and this certain ability. And, I guess my job as executive director and one of his best friends is to, you know, blaze the way and let him go and do all those amazing
Yeah.
things he does. I mean, because really his goal is to, create a world of love and acceptance through smiles that crosses all cultural boundaries. That's part of our mission. And when I met him and he met Barry then and said this is what he wanted to do. For those of you who don't know, Barry Short was the originator of the Keep Smiling cards. That's these. And then Ken met him. Ken's a celebrity event photographer and said, I want to take these cards and make them viral. I want to make a movement out of it. Barry said, please do. And Ken's been doing that. And so I met Ken in January of 15. He met Barry in March. And then he quickly brought it to me and said, "Hey, I have this idea. I printed a book. Help me." And next thing you know, I'm fully engaged. This is a major part of my life is the Keep Smiling movement, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I certainly love it. I mean, the only other way I would have it is even better. Things are great, and I'm always open to bigger and better. So there you go.
Absolutely. We were talking last night in our private group um, about why we do the things we do. It's like, what is it that motivates you to do the Keep Smiling project, the
Yeah,
Keep
why we
Smiling
do the
movement?
things we do. Well, for me, the reason that why I did it and why I needed it, it's really ironic because I met Ken at a time where just a couple months prior, the business partner that I was with, we were business partners in two separate businesses, so like strategic business partners, and we did everything together. And in August of the year prior of me meeting Ken, my mom had a breast cancer diagnosis in the morning that was a second time, and for me that was quite devastating, for that being my mother, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And then that afternoon my oldest daughter was in a tragic horse accident, and they thought she'd die, they thought she'd lose her leg, she'd never walk again. And my business partner at the time, even though my mom and daughter, were going through all this trial and tribulation, and were thriving with positivity, they thrived. My dad was also just had surgery or something at the time, I forget. So I had three disabled people, and I'm an only child and the mom. And trying to run all these businesses. And my business partner literally said to me, and this is so funny, I was on my way to go work with the Jackson family for Michael Jackson's celebration of life. So what an ironic call that I left my family to go do something really big. And my business partner calls and tells me, hey, we have this event next month. Don't come. I'm done. We're not working together anymore. And I'm like, wait a minute, I need to come, and he's like, no, I don't think you're going to be able to give to our clients because of your stuff at home. So we're done. And I kind of was, I mean, I suppose it was a good thing because it left a space open in my heart for like this, for someone to come in. And, so I took care of my family, still took care of my clients. And then come January, I'm on the Internet Marketers Cruise and I meet Ken. And it was a perfect time for him to come into my world and for us both to have the Keep Smiling movement come in, because I was looking for something, because my mom and daughter ended up being great and they're fine. My daughter, her leg was, both bones were broken and her skin was ripped off, kind of like the only thing that was holding her leg on was her calf muscle. And my mom did Resilient with her breast cancer surgery, and then ended up having another one right after that. And, and all these crazy things happening. But, everybody did really well, and my dad's doing well. And gave me this opportunity to, know that with being positive and leaving that space open, that joy could come. And it also fulfilled a lifetime passion for me, Teri. My aunt Audra, she's 3 years older than me. And I remember I was like 12 or 14 or something. And I remember my heart breaking because I realized every time she laughed, she'd go, and she'd cover her mouth. And that's because her teeth were a little crowded, but she still had a beautiful smile. They were just a little crowded. And she just was horribly embarrassed by that. And I always knew that someday I would have some kind of a business or something that would work with people with smiles to encourage them to smile and eventually help them with dental care and dental help. And while right now we're focused on the mental aspect of a smile, the dental part is certainly something that's very important to Ken and I both. And so as we get more dentists on board and create that other opportunity for people's smiles to be corrected, then we'll be a mental and dental health organization.
I love
And so,
that.
yeah, it's pretty
It,
cool.
and it
How about for you?
rhymes.
How about for you? Yeah, what's a story for you that maybe you lost your smile, and then how you were able to get it back?
Yeah, I've lost my smile a few times in my life, and it's always been when I took a path that was out of alignment with where I'm supposed to be. I'm here in this lifetime as a light worker. I'm here to really lift up the energy and to share with others my light. And there's been times when that light has been dimmed. I've been through a lot of physical illness in this
Mm.
lifetime. So there's been a lot of struggle there. And it's kind of hard to smile when, you're like, I was on dialysis for 8 months. I had kidney
Wow.
failure. So going through that 8 months was horrendous. It really was. I didn't get along with dialysis at all. It was like I would be sick the whole time I was on the machine. I'd be sick afterward and the next day. So it was
Wow.
8 months of just really going through hell with all of that. But then I had the kidney transplant.
Oh,
And,
I didn't realize.
next month will be 45 years that I've had my second kidney, my second chance at
Really?
life.
That is
Yeah.
so cool. 45 years. That's amazing. I'm an organ
Yes.
donor. I've only been called twice, where they thought that I would be a perfect candidate, and then I don't know if the person had a better candidate or if they didn't make it or what happened. But that is always something I always thought that I was capable of doing for someone, and so I am on that donor list because
Oh,
I
they're
want
my
to create that
heroes.
possibility. Yeah,
They
you
are
never
my
know.
heroes because
Yeah,
I wouldn't be here if I hadn't had that transplant. And
yeah,
like I
absolutely.
said, 45 years, I think the second longest surviving kidney transplant. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
Look at you. You're even a longevity winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got a lot more years to go. So
Yeah, that's
I want my
fantastic.
trophy.
Yeah, I
but
think that's fantastic.
it's those times of struggle and challenge that we forget to smile. It's not that we don't want to. It's like we just are so engorged in what's going on and struggling to live. That's pretty big. So we kind of get away from our happiness and our joy when we're fighting those battles. And then I've
I
been through cancer a few times. So
Oh, I
it's
didn't
like,
realize that too. Mm.
yeah, I had breast cancer last year and had ended up having a double mastectomy. So that was a tough year for me last year. But through that, I want to tell you what I did when I realized what was going on and I got the diagnosis. I put out the word that I wanted people to make me laugh. I said,
Nice.
just make me laugh. I don't want to hear I'm sorry. I don't want to hear, oh, poor you. All I want is somebody to lift me up every day. And that was my request, and it happened. People were sending, and still do, send me things to make me giggle, make me, just put a smile on my face. So we have a choice. And I think as we progress in our life, we realize we do have that choice. We can handle it one way or another way. We can pull the covers up over our head and say, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see anybody. Or we can say, hey, make me laugh. We
Oh,
have
I
that
I
choice.
certainly love that. I love being with people who just crack me up and get my humor
Yeah,
and my quirkiness and so forth. And I think that's one of the reasons that Ken and I get along so well. And it's not just him and I; it's the world and Ken. People just adore him because of his sense of comedic timing and the quirkiness, and he just does dorky things that people just fall in love with. And for myself personally, when I finally became comfortable with myself and my body and who I am and my size, um, I realized that people like me because I can be dorky too. And
yeah,
I often tell people dorky sells. I mean, like if you want someone to fall in love with you, be yourself, be a dork, and be fun. I like to sing,
right.
and I keep wanting. What I keep can't remember the song. Is the song "Make Me Laugh" or something like "Make Me"? I can't think of what the song
You
is.
don't
Make me laugh. In fact, I
know.
want to look it up now. It's like I'm like,
Well,
what is
maybe,
it?
maybe, maybe somebody that's watching knows. Do you all know the
Yeah,
song?
yeah. What
And
what is it?
tell us your stories too. If there was a time that you couldn't smile, that just wasn't there for you, whatever you were going through, and then how did you pull yourself out of that? I'd love to hear.
Oh, I love that. I mean, that's what we do with the Keep Smiling book. So here I have
Yeah,
several of the books here in front of me, and it's so fun because with these books, here's Manny Lopez's book. His is Hope Happens, and our books tell the co-author's story, and then we feature 99 other people besides the author as people in here who are either like-minded or they're within their tribe or their fans or followers, and it's a really great opportunity. That's what we talked to Teri that in doing Teri's book. I mean, she could have herself and other light workers inside of it, and so then we can
absolutely.
share them, and then that's a really great way to create community. We encourage people to engage with each other, and then and it's funny because we've had some people say, "Wait a minute, I don't understand your Keep Smiling movement. Why do you call this a marketing tool?" Because when you think about it, we're all selling ourselves all the time, not just for business, but for love and for friendship. We're just like little kids. We have to ask, we have to be cute or be funny or be interesting or need a shoulder to cry on, that someone notices us. And so we want you to be noticed by your smile. And people see you with your
Yes,
smile and then they want to be with you. And that allows such
absolutely.
a beautiful way to work. And Terry, especially like with you, I know that you're like me, like, yes, you're a light worker, and at the same time, you know that there's not enough light workers in the world, that there's more people who
Right.
need you guys than you can handle all by yourself. So I'm the same way. I'm like, I was on another publicist show this morning. I'm embrace her. I encourage people to work with her because I can't handle the world. What am I supposed to do
Right.
publicity for all how many millions of people? I don't remember the population, but well, I know there's 264 million people diagnosed last year with depression, and I know I can't handle
Uh-huh.
all of them either. We need a
No.
movement like this to help overcome those crazy feelings, and we don't want people to
Absolutely.
be there. Um,
Yeah.
and that's where we're at.
Yes. And there's no competition. That's when you get into competition, that's when things get wonky, and you don't want that. As light workers, we work
Yep.
together. That's why we have community. Kim says there is one, She Makes Me Laugh by the Monkees.
Oh,
Is that
that's what it
it?
is. I don't know. I gotta listen to it. Maybe I need to look it up on my phone so I can listen to it.
Okay.
I will look it up and see if that's it. Um, because I was thinking there's a line that's in a musical theater too, something like a "Make Me Laugh" or something like that. I swear it sounds like that too. I'm not sure, but I'll look it up. And Ken is texting me, so let's see. Which is funny because usually when I'm on the air, he is texting me.
Of course. Of
Yes,
course.
yes, he is. Uh, okay, what are you doing, silly man? All right, so he said the link wasn't working. I didn't have any trouble with it at all. I'll resend it to him right now, um,
Okay.
so that
Let's
he can
get
get
him
it,
on here to make
and
us
we'll
laugh.
we'll figure out whatever he does, he'll
Yes,
do, and
we
that'll be
will.
fine.
Yeah.
It's right here, and
So I was thinking about the Smile book, and I had asked my audience in the mornings. What do you think? Should it be keep smiling gratitude or keep smiling angels? So there's been a kind of a vote on that. I'm not sure what the outcome is yet.
It might be that you have to do two different books. Wait, let's ask. Should Teri do two books? Yes. Is one angels? Yes. Is one gratitude? Yes. Okay. My kinesiology says yes and yes. And I'm usually spot on. Oh, that's amazing. Well, since Ken's not here to share his story of why he was passionate about the Keep Smiling, I'm his representative, so I'll speak on his behalf. For him, his mom had passed away from Alzheimer's, and he was a caregiver the last 3 years of her life with his dad. His dad actually took a leave of absence from his job to take care of his wife. Apparently, his mom and dad were like the notebook, they had this beautiful
Mhm.
relationship. And so Ken went 3 times a day to help take care of his mom, which he was a world DJ. So he still owns that DJ company in the uh, dis they call it the DMV, so it's the District, Virginia, and Maryland. And he was one of the top DJs then, and he played world music, so he was really good for all kinds of religions and all kinds of whatever. And so that gave him the opportunity to be free during the days to go and help take care of his mom. And so when his mom died of Alzheimer's, he realized that he didn't have any of her story. He didn't have this legacy of what her why was. What was she passionate about? What did she want him to know? And so he became very passionate about people leaving a legacy, and that's why these books came about. Is he wanted each person to tell their story just in a condensed short form. Doesn't have to be super long, but just so that we understand what's your why do you do this, and who are you. Part of the stories are, who are you, why did you become to be who you are. And then when he had picked up a camera and was doing photography. And then that's when soon after, a couple of years, he met me, then met Barry, and with Barry was all about the Keep Smiling movement. And that's where his passion grew, that he wanted to create this movement and create a legacy. He has a little boy who's now
Yes.
7, and he wanted his son to be able to have a world that was filled with this love and acceptance. And so that's what they created. And that's what we're doing, and it's been really, really fun, because we have this ability to do so many things and reach the whole world. I mean, it's just quite exciting what
Oh,
we've been able
yeah,
to accomplish. um, I,
absolutely.
I don't know if you know this, but the cards right now, we have them in multiple languages. I got them in two of them
I
here. They're both upside
know.
down.
That's so
Ah,
awesome.
so super fun. And it's just been so amazing to be able to do all of this. It's so enlightening. So that's why we have over 114 authors now, Terry, and we have more people who've been seeking it out and wanting to do it, people who want to donate their time, donate funding, and we're ready to receive. We've been in give, give, give mode, and we're ready to receive. So we're so happy to be able to talk about gratitude and happiness with other people who get that and want to give of their hearts and help move things like this, along with the things that you're doing. That's why we've been partnering up, thinking, how can we cross reference and keep all these amazing things happening and going? Sounds like you have fun people behind you. Do you have fun people
Oh,
in around?
I do. I have so much fun people. They're awesome. And I love Jean Lorio. She says, every time you smile at someone, you put a little light into their heart.
I
Do you
do
like
believe
that?
that. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Well,
Yeah.
how many of you have heard this phrase? Because it's been kind of funny. Um, I am smiling as one other exercise to do. Even when I go to bed at night, I lay down and I think smile when I go to sleep, because I don't want to be the person, like if I'm on a call like this where there's multiple people and you're listening to others, I'm actively engaged, I'm smiling, and that's
Right.
because I don't want to have RBF, resting B face.
Right.
Apparently, have you guys heard this term? So the
Oh,
B
yeah.
meaning the bad word, the cuss word. So apparently people, when they're not smiling like this and
Mhm.
they look mean and grumpy, and I don't want to look like
Yeah.
that on purpose or by accident. So I have decided I'm counteracting that, and I'm going to have this resting happy face instead. And then Ken likes to use that he's doing SPH. smiles per hour, and that you
I love
gauge,
that.
yeah,
Yes.
that you engage how you take things out in the world and how you share things and how the happiness level is in your life by how many smiles per hour that you're creating and that you are doing, even if you're by yourself. And something else, Teri, when you said about make me laugh, I'm actually a certified laughter. They call it laughter therapy. Although I'm not a therapist, I'm a certified laughter therapist. And if you want to, we can engage in a laughter thing right now.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
do it.
So
Let's do it.
all of you watching can do it with me. So right now we're going to pretend we're at a tea party. So you're going to hold your
Oh
tea
boy.
and you got to
Let me
put your
get my
pinky
tea.
out. And then we're going to laugh as if people were at an English tea party. So we're going to go, ooh, ooh, when we
Oh
drink our tea,
no.
ooh, and drink your tea. Oh, I'll drink this tea over here.
But
And then
I want
let's
some
see what.
crackers.
Oh, well, we can have a biscotti. Oh,
Oh yay.
eat your biscotti as well.
But
And
it's not
then
on my diet, so I have to, do I
laugh
still
at it a
laugh if
little
it's
more.
not on my diet?
You can laugh even more. That's laughter. When you full belly, you engage your muscles in your stomach as well. It's really good
Yes,
for
you
your lymph.
do.
It moves it all around. It helps flush out the toxins. There's a lot of
Is
really great
is
things
that
that
why
come
we
from
hurt?
smiling.
Is that why we
Yes.
hurt when
Oh
we deep
yeah,
belly laugh?
it's because we're not doing enough crunches and exercises that our belly, literally the
Okay.
muscles contract and they're like, ow, I'm in
Yeah.
pain. Yes, it's
Yes.
exactly fun. Another other laughter one that you can do that people love is you can pretend you're mowing the lawn. So you're going to hold your mower like this, Teri.
Okay, I got my
Now
mower.
it's a pull mower, so you have to
Oh
go
no. Oh no. Oh no.
and then you push your mower all around the room.
And Sharon says my girls joined in too.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
She
And,
has two girls.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love it because when you do things like that, I mean, you don't have to be a certified laughter therapist to do this. You could just do this. It's so
Right.
fun. I do it at parties and when we're around other people, I'll just start doing it to be dorky. And it's so fun. My mother-in-law, who's since passed away due to complications from third round, or I think it was her fourth round of breast cancer. She loved it when I did the lawnmower. To her and the airplane, I'd be like, ha ha ha, laughing. She just lose it because to her that was just the craziest thing. And and I've done that all over the world at different places I've been
Yeah.
for, American Association of I'm trying to think what all different the heart AMA or no AHA, the Heart Association. I did it for them. I've done it for breast cancer patients and for men who had testicular cancer. And oh my God, they just thought it was the dorkiest thing ever. But we had so much fun and we laughed so hard that we literally have what I call a laughter casualty, where someone laughs so hard they literally stop breathing. They're doing
Oh
that slap it on
no.
the knee, and they literally gotta lay down. When you're laughing so hard, you gotta lay on the floor. You're a laughter casualty. We went too far. We like took you over the edge. And
Right.
it's so much fun. And I mean,
Laughter
really,
overdose.
yeah, I love it. Well, it is true. It's true. It is an overdose. It's an over of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. So that is
Right.
your dose of hope that we're giving with smile movement. By the way, did you know I have an acronym for smiles that we use for the Keep Smiling movement?
Yes.
It
Yes. Tell
stands
us.
for a society merging international leaders and entrepreneurs for social responsibility. Because I think
I
it's our
love
social
that.
responsibility to spread love and acceptance, gratitude, and happiness.
Yes.
So,
It sure
so
is.
Teri's on board.
I'm on board. I'm spreading it. And I love this. And tell us about the cards, Andrea. I know that
Oh, yeah.
Barry is the one that makes the cards. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
he does. And you can go to our website And it's thekeepsmilingmovement.com, thekeepsmilingmovement.com. And you can either email us. We'll have another button up soon so that it can redirect you to tell you exactly how you can get these cards in your hands, because we encourage you to give these cards out all over the world. In fact, if you're okay with it, Terry, I'd love to share a story about the Keep Smiling cards. I
Of
actually love to
course.
demonstrate it. Let me see. Well, we'll just demonstrate it by using one of a different language because that makes it more fun. So, I had just gotten off the plane from Egypt. And now remember, we're a mental health organization as well.
Right.
So, I had gotten off the plane, and our bus driver that was taking me to my car within the airport was well, let's just say she's having a tad bit of a little bit of a bad day. Okay. So she
Okay.
was grumpy, she was mean, she was slamming our luggage around, and she actually almost T-boned another bus while we were on it. So imagine here I am sitting on the bus and I'm like slammed, over to here, and everybody's crap went flying. She didn't even say, "Are you okay? Has everybody got your stuff?" Nothing. She said nothing. And we were like, wow, this is a lovely lady. So ironic, probably not ironic, supposed to be on purpose. I'm the last one off. She gets
Right.
me to my car, she opens up the door, and she takes out my suitcases and like slams them in a muddy mud puddle. I was like, wow, thanks so much. So I already knew that I needed to intervene. So I grabbed two Keep Smiling cards, which I often do, and I had a $10 bill. And when I stepped off, I handed her the first Keep Smiling card and I said, "I have a gift for you." And I handed her this card. And she looks at it and goes, "Hmm, okay." She's happy. So then I said, "Well, I gave you that card because I actually care about whether you're smiling or not. And I couldn't help but notice, I think you're having a little bit of a tad of a bad day." And she did kind of, smirk at me a little. And then I
Yeah.
said, "And I have another gift for you." And so she looks at me. This time she looks at me with a like, "What?" And I hand her another Keep Smiling card. And I said, "I'm handing you this card because chances are when you've stopped smiling, it's most likely that someone in your life also stops smiling because you're not getting along. And just maybe if you told them, 'I really miss your smile and I care about you,' and either give them this card in person or take a selfie with it or a picture of it and send it to them, they might just be able to open up those gates so you can open up that conversation again." And she started to cry. And she admitted to me that she actually had planned during that day at work that she was going to go home and commit suicide or go home and take her life. And she was crying to me, and I said, "I'm so glad that I said something, can I go somewhere with you? Can you take a break? Can we go get a coffee or something?" And at the time, by this time we're laughing and we're talking, and she's sharing with me, and she said, "No, I'm really going to be okay. I needed these. I needed to know that I needed to be reminded that there's something more in my life than what I'm in this moment, and I'm going to be okay." And then I said, "Well, I still have this $10 bill in my hand. This is my tip for you." And I said, "Could you please call your boss and, tell him you need a bathroom break or something. Go get yourself a coffee, have a good cry, and please know that you're loved and that whatever's going on, everything will be okay." And ironically, the very next night, I went to go visit a friend, and the friend had called me, and the voice was odd on the phone. And they invited me over, and I said, "Great, I'm coming." Well, I got a little delayed getting there, so I was probably 15 or 20 minutes later than I had wanted to be, and they told me not to come, and I could still hear something in their voice, and so I said, "Well, I'm coming anyways. I'm already here." I think I said I had to pee or something. I came up with some excuse why I must still come. And I go into the house and they admit to me that things are really bad and they're just feeling really, really down. So I decide to tell them the story of how I gave that girl that Keep Smiling card that was on our bus, and how I gave her the second card to give to someone else. And sure enough, my friend starts crying and admits to me that they originally told me to come because they wanted me to intervene, and then told me not to come because they had made a decision to take their life that night as well. And so it's amazing what the power of these little cards can do to save someone's life. we have no idea. I mean, in this case, I happen to know the impact, but we have no idea. I pass these out all the time. I give them out at drive-throughs. Put them in all the seats or in the things on a plane. I give them to everyone. I show them on every radio show I'm on. Like today, this is I think my fourth radio show today. This card's been all over the world, and it just really makes a huge difference that when we smile at people, we really change the trajectory of our life and theirs by putting this
Yes,
smile on our face. So
absolutely.
wonderful.
You never
So
know what
wonderful.
people are going through. You don't know anybody's journey.
Yeah, it's
But
been
when you take that moment to care, to show your compassion, that's
yeah.
when it really breaks through, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does make a huge difference and it's so amazing. And it's beautiful what we've created and what we're creating and we're open to more ideas and collaboration. I mean for me personally, I own the Red Carpet Connection and the Red Carpet Connection is about making connections that are like red carpet, that where you feel loved and special and important and have the bedazzle and the lights on you. But it's really more about real relationships that are authentic because often when we're in the spotlight, it's only for whatever good we're doing in that moment. But I want to know more than that. I want to know who you really are and how you really show up in the world. And you don't have to be all pretty and have all the pomp and circumstance for me to love on you and to know who you are. And I bring that into the Keep Smiling movement. And so that's what we're really about is really loving on people wherever they're at and letting them know that it's okay. Because I certainly am not happy 24 hours a day. How about you, Terry?
Well, no, I don't think we would be human if that was the case.
Yeah,
But that it's an effort we can make. Yeah, there's going to be things that happen, like kids may be screaming outside my door, which they are right now. But it's okay. I can look at that in one or two ways, like, oh, please, kids, just go home. Don't, stop making noise. Or I can allow that noise to be there and enjoy their happiness and still do what I'm doing in here with you. It's
well,
a
I
choice
thought
that we
I
make.
thought they were just angels that were out there having a good time.
They're angels, but in a different way.
And that's it. It's like to be okay with it. Like if somebody comes
Yeah,
around my office and starts mowing right now, I'm going to be in gratitude that my lawn is getting mowed, whether or not you guys
right.
can hear it or not. And that's really it. I mean, it's really funny. I mean, we never would have thought that, like the gratitude that comes from things. So like my daughter with her leg breaking, her horse falling on her and breaking her leg and so forth. Had that not happened, we wouldn't have found out later. My daughter ended up having a stroke that we never really knew if it was actually correlated to her accident or just because her body was already stressed. It was several months later. But because of that stroke that they thought was somehow related, but they're not sure why, we found out that she has a chemical deficiency where she doesn't process a certain hormone that's necessary in order to have children. So, had we not found that out, Destiny wouldn't have known that she had that. She wouldn't have known, her doctors wouldn't have known to give her the supplements. And I have
Right.
two very healthy, beautiful grandchildren, Mavis, who's 4, and Warren, who's 1.5. And these kids are absolutely amazing and beautiful. And they had said, had she not had that intervention, most people will have up to 8 to 12 miscarriages before they ever even test for this. I
Yeah,
mean,
divine
yeah,
timing. Yeah,
yeah.
I truly believe that. There's a purpose for everything.
Yeah, so we would have never thought that we'd be grateful for Destiny to have that tragic accident and scare us to death, and now we tease her that she's got the most expensive jewelry she could ever have. This whole, titanium rod in her leg, and this whole big, huge thing that looks like a shark's jaw, and she's got a great cocktail story.
Yes, she does. Yeah, that's
It's
so
so fun.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's amazing. So for
yeah.
you, I mean, obviously the gratitude's been that you've had 45 years of this kidney keeping you thriving and alive. And then what are some other things that you found like through going through the breast cancer treatments? What was the gratitude and happiness that you found?
Oh my God, Andrea, I found so much love and support. And I can't imagine anybody going through something like that, not just breast cancer, but any trauma that happens in your life. I can't imagine going through that alone. and not having somebody that when you have those moments of just wanting to scream or wanting to cry or just express, that you don't have anybody there with you. And I made a commitment that if I knew of anyone going through whatever it is, especially breast cancer, though, those women that go through this and don't have a support, that I want to be the one there for them. I
Oh,
know what they've been through. I know from the get-go what's happening. And so I've made that commitment that anybody that's going through it, if you have family members, friends, whatever, and I've had many people that have come to me and said, would you please talk to my friend? Even my niece earlier this year, she called me up and she's like, can I talk to you? She had just gotten a diagnosis of breast cancer. So I'm committed to being there for anybody that needs me. And whatever, I don't even care what time of day or night it is. I rarely sleep anyway, but I'll be there. I'll be the one to hold your hand because nobody should go through this alone.
well, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I will mention an organization called Chemo Buddies. I volunteer and do the publicity for them, and it's a live radio show every day on Zoom or via Facebook, or excuse me, not on Zoom, on Be Live TV, and
Okay.
it's a Service Hero show, and but she is the owner of the Service Hero show, also owns Chemo Buddies, and Chemo Buddies was created to buddy people up so that they don't have to be alone through chemo. And during COVID, they actually opened up their organization to anybody who was going through COVID alone, so that they just were
Wow.
not that they had to have a COVID
Yeah.
diagnosis, but that they were alone
Right.
and didn't have anybody to hang out with or be with. And so they matched people up and created this opportunity to expand to the world. And it's been amazing, amazing gift for people. And that's
Yeah.
something certainly that will attach you to and bring for you, Teri, because
I would love
that's what they're
that.
all about. Is because that's so challenging. Yeah, anything that you're going through. I mean, that's why the keeps we do have an ambassadors page. It's the Keep Smiling Ambassadors Facebook page,
Mhm.
and that's for people to come and read positive messages and to reach out and say, hey, I need a smile right now. Hey, does anybody want to talk, or is somebody free? We have shared different shows like this one. Normally, I hop on and share, and I don't know why I didn't share this one. I think because I was trying to see if we could help Ken get in, and I didn't get there. So,
It's all his fault. We're going to blame everything on Ken today.
oh, you know what? We're going to say because of him, some amazing things are happening. Because look at the conversation that we've had
I
because
know.
Ken wasn't able to be with here today. So
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
be very positive and happy about that we're going to be in super joy. That
Absolutely.
not that Ken's not here, because certainly we would love to have him, but I'm perfectly okay with the fact that he wasn't able to be here with us. And that's going to be
Yeah.
okay because well, frankly, that's how it needs to be. It needs to be okay regardless of what we do in the world, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes. And I've recently started chanting. Andrea, I don't know if you chant or not, but the chants that I'm doing are really changing me. And just like this, the two of you were supposed to be here, but what the chanting has done and that shift that's happened inside of me is like, okay, this is the way it is, and I'm fine with that. It's being okay every moment with whatever is happening, not stressing over, oh, it's not the way it was supposed to be, right? Or it could have been a different show. It's totally just accepting in every moment what's going on. And this
yep.
is what's happened with doing this chanting every day. We do it at 9 o'clock every night, and we welcome anybody to come with us if they want to come on Zoom, if they want to chant on their own. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
making an impact. And we chant for change. It's called 40
Oh,
Days of
wow.
Chanting for Change, and it's
Really?
making an impact.
That
Yes.
is amazing. I didn't realize that. That is so cool. I'm so glad to hear that. I was not aware of that. And I just talked to a gentleman tonight who sounds amazing. Oh, wait, where'd you go? There you are.
I'm here.
Okay, because I shared it, and when you share it for a watch party, we start talking, and then I hear myself in
Oh,
chat. I was
okay.
like, wait, what happened there? Yeah, I that's a little odd or whatever when we do that, when we're sharing something like that. And so that's what I'm doing is creating that opportunity for us to go ahead and share it right now because we can.
Awesome.
So
Yes, we can. Yeah. So we were talking about chanting, and you said you spoke with a gentleman.
oh, yes, thank you. I spoke with this young man who has been meditating, so not chanting per se, although chanting can be very much like meditating depending on who you talk
Yes.
to and when. But he was meditating like 8 or 10 hours a day, and now he did it for years, and now he chants about a minimum of 2 hours a day, or not chants, meditates 2 hours a day, and was telling me
Right.
about it and how much his life is so peaceful and wonderful and beautiful, and it's so amazing
Yeah.
because you never imagine anything like that being a possibility, and I just was very impressed with him. So we met the other day and we were talking this morning, and I'm supposed to talk to him more. And I'm really intrigued with how what he's doing and how he's making all this happen, and how he
Yeah.
really is showcasing things in the world by his positivity and his brightness. I mean, he really, you could just hear the oh level of frequency that he has in his world. It's really quite amazing. Yeah, very impressive.
It
And
makes
what
such a difference.
yeah, what have other people said that they've noticed with their health, or like maybe their environment or their income or anything like that? Have you heard anything?
Yeah, well, you can chant for different things, and the chants have a resonation to them. So you're taking in a frequency as you're doing the chant. The two that we are doing, we do 108 times of two different chants. The first one is Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And we chant that 108 times. And that is to
Oh,
break through any barriers, is to remove obstacles out of your way. And I have noticed with this one, there's been more doors open, there's been more opportunities for things that have come into my life. But the other thing I've noticed with that particular chant, things that are not in alignment with my energy and my purpose for being
yeah,
here are falling away. It's like all of a
really
sudden people are not there. And I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting because there was kind of an odd feeling with people, with that person, and now they're not there. And it's like, yeah, it's really, really true that when we get in alignment with who we truly are, those things that are not in alignment with us are going to fall away, and we're going to keep on our
fantastic.
path. So that's the first one. And the second one is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And that is to bring inner peace. And once we have that inner peace, it flows out to the outer world. So those are the two chants we do every night. I do it with Karen Palmer. I think you're familiar with Karen.
Yes, we adore
And
her.
yes, so that's our commitment, is to come together every night. It takes about half an hour, and we just come on and share some love and some joy and chant together.
I love this. This is so fun. I'm gonna have to figure out my schedule and come in and come be a part of
Yeah,
that. I would love that. That sounds so
absolutely.
fun.
You'll get
Um,
you'll get hooked. Trust me.
oh my gosh, it's addictive too. How cool is that?
It is. Yes. Oh, and one of our audience members chants with us, and she says, "What I have noticed is I sleep really well after we chant. I am so at peace." Thank you, Jean.
Aw, that's wonderful. That's amazing to hear that. I love that. That's so exciting to, know about these things and to understand what's going on in the world. And oh, I love that. It makes me excited to hear these
Yeah.
opportunities that people have created for themselves. I certainly want to make sure that these kinds of things are really brought in, are really open and engaging for everyone. Um, in fact, I need to post it. I haven't posted it yet on Thursday night. Well, I think we're supposed to have it on Thursday. Maybe we're having it tomorrow. I can't remember when we're having it. But I'll find out and let everybody know. I met this woman who does meditations all over the world, and she has agreed to come on and do a beautiful meditation, smile meditation for us on the Keep Smiling
Good.
Ambassadors page. So I'll let everybody know as I
Yeah.
know more about that. So how you can check it out and see it and participate, because it'll be super fun. Another
Yeah.
opportunity for people to find joy in their life and to enjoy that opportunity to I don't know, just to feel good and be happy. I love
Yeah,
it. Yay!
I do too. I do too. And smiling when you're meditating, that's amazing. And when you try it, just try it, you'll like it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
smiling when you're chanting, smiling when you're doing anything.
well, that's one of the things I have, when I'm hearing something that's negative, I have, chose to smile during it.
Mhm.
If I hear, something else, there must be a pollen in the air. I'm getting this itch. What is this? What does it mean when your nose itches terrible?
You're getting company.
Well, I must have a bunch of company coming because I'm like,
You
my
got a
nose
bunch of
is so
company coming.
itchy nose, itchy
Yeah.
nose. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't stop itching my nose. Um, it's been, I forget what I was saying now because I was thinking about all the company coming.
Well, you were talking about smiling through negativity.
Oh, so like when I'm crying about something or I'm sad, I literally choose to, I literally go, and I'm crying and so you make that kind of hysterical face, but it's okay because it literally, because then I'll start laughing about something and it literally does bring me out of it. It literally is a neurological muscle as well. The neuroplasticity, I've been studying neuroplasticity for a long time now. My PhD work is in public health, health promotion and community education, and right now I'm working on my PhD, in endocrinology as well. And so studying and reading all this stuff for years about how our brains work, and how, looking at hypnosis and neuro linguistic programming because I'm trained in all that as well. And the whole sole purpose of me being interested in is to think, how can I change myself in the way that my brain thinks and responds to things, so that way if somebody doesn't do what I expect them, instead of being upset about it, I just think, oh, I wonder what really cool opportunity is going to become of that, since that didn't happen. And, like if someone breaks up with you, you think, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you that you're going to find someone that you love. And then that you have
Yeah,
now left my life open so that I can really be truly loved by someone who loves me. And, and crazy
right.
things like that, that you are like, oh my gosh, I know I really will miss you because I like you and I love you. And I'm really excited about what's going to happen. Like, how does it get better than this now?
Yeah.
Because we always know it does. It always does.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yeah.
Do you have a mantra that, like, for yourself, that, if so, like, what I have found is people just have a saying that they need to hear, and it's usually very specific, that they need to hear in order to feel better, that they either need to tell themselves, or that if other people just told them, it like magically makes things go away. Do you have one?
I sure do. And my mantra is only love and light is welcome here.
Only love and light is welcome
Only
here.
love and light is welcome here. And I bring it into my heart and just keep saying that only love and light is welcome here. So anything else that tries to come in, any of that negativity, anything somebody tries to project to me, it's like, nope, not going to happen because I'm only bringing in love and light into my heart.
That's amazing. That's a perfect one. Mine I created when I was a little girl, and so, it's if I look upset or anything at all, and somebody says it's okay, Andrea, everything works out for you. It always does. It's almost like they magically like wanded me with fairy dust. I mean, like I
Yeah.
instantly feel better by that. It's okay, Andrea. Everything works out for you. It always does. And then I'm reminded that it always does, because it might seem icky ooh in the moment, but whatever that is, it's going to be okay and it's going to be beautiful. And so that's what I've learned to trust and to make happen. And to really, when people talk about, oh, be the duck, let the water go off your back, and like I remember for years thinking, how can you do that? How can that be okay? How can whatever be okay? But it's through my life experiences that I've seen traumatic things happen. And yet, oddly enough, somehow it always ends up being okay. Not that it was
Yeah.
okay. The
Right.
situation maybe wasn't okay, but
But you're
okay will
okay.
come of it. Yeah, including
Yes.
death and disease and craziness and COVID and whatever
And
else.
COVID. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And I've heard that on, I think, motivational videos. Everything is always working out for me. And when you
Yeah.
put that into your mind, that's going to become your mindset. So I love
Yeah,
that.
you,
That's
yeah, you're
yours.
right. I do hear that on sayings all the time, and this is something that I came up with when I was little. Except for my nickname when I was a little girl was Andy. In fact, my name was Andy until I worked in law enforcement, and um and um and when I was a corrections officer, um I married at the time, and so I went from Andrea Benavides, which is my maiden name, so I was Andy Benavides, and then I go to Andy Adams. I was like, oh, that's boring. That's just too boring. It doesn't sound. It sounded cute, and I'm like, oh, we need to
Right,
change that.
right.
So I was Officer Andrea Adams and went to that, and then when I married Tom Miller, then I had children from Adams and Miller, so I always wanted to be my children's mother, so I'm always going to be their parent, and so then I kept Adams and Miller, and so Andrea just seemed to flow with it better.
Yeah, it
But
does.
yeah, so it's part of finding out who you are, finding that acceptance for
Mhm.
so and the reason I think I brought that up is because I wanted to segue into Teri Angel. Are do you publicly talk to people about your name, Teri Angel, and why you call yourself Teri Angel?
I do. I was Terry Miller. That's still officially my legal name, Terry Miller. But when I got divorced, I was separated 7 years ago, and then the divorce was final a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I did not want to go by Miller anymore. So I
Yeah, I
became
totally
Terry
get it.
Angel.
I
Yeah,
love
so
it.
I'm Terry Angel. And that's how most people know me these days. There are those from my past, my prior life that still know me as Terry Miller.
Yeah,
But
it is funny when you
yeah,
hear people call you of another name. You're like, I still respond to Andy, but I'm not aware that they even said that. I'll be like,
yeah,
and they'll say, I'm like, oh, I didn't even, I mean, I just respond to it, but I don't even think about it anymore because it's funny how that's not who I am.
right. Yeah. And we change through the years,
Yeah.
our whole personality changes.
Yeah.
The
We have
more,
the
more
ability to,
experience that we have.
well, and that's part of the neuroplasticity is we can design who we want to be and we can be that at any
Yeah,
time and recreate that and choose to live a life or I call it I mean you manifest your happiness.
you do. And
You honestly can have everything you desire.
you can. One of my mentors is Lisa Nichols, and
Oh,
she says you don't have to go back and change anything in your life. You just start right now where you are, this moment, being who you want to be, creating the life you want to have. And that gives you such freedom when you really realize that no, I don't have to go back and change what I did or how I felt or anything that I did in my past. Right now is what's important. This now moment is all we have anyway. We have no
just step into it.
guarantees. Yeah, just
Yeah,
step into it. I love
step
that.
into it.
Yeah.
Well, do you need to be on another show? Because I just realized it's 6 o'clock. We've been
I,
talking the whole
I
hour.
just, I know, I just looked at the clock. Yes, I do have Spirit Focus with Robert Painley coming up at 7 o'clock. And it's going to be a very interesting show. So I need to get off of here so I can get ready for his. But this has
Yes.
been an amazing show. Thank you. Thank you for all the stuff that came out. And our audience has thoroughly enjoyed it. And thank you all for being here with us tonight. And
Thank you.
go to that page, Keep Smiling Ambassadors.
Yeah,
You'll
the Keep
really get a
Smiling
blessing.
ambassadors. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get a
And then
blessing from that.
please do. And any of you who want to reach out and connect with me personally, it's theredcarpetconnection.com. I have like a little button there where you can get like a free assessment, and that could be a personal or a business assessment on how you can have more happiness in your life. I'd be happy to talk to you about that because we all need that. We all need that opportunity to have someone that we can connect with at a heart and soul level, and I'm here for you.
You absolutely do. And Andrea is amazing. So reach out to her and let her know that you saw her on Gratitude Happy Hour. And want to wish you all many blessings for the rest of your night. And if you're around later, come and chat with us. 9 o'clock tonight. Karen Palmer and I will be
Fun.
on.
Cool
Yeah.
beans. All right.
So Andrea, thank you. And I know you'll be back again. This is just too much fun to stay away, isn't it?
I know, I love it. I think it's so much fun. I see it worked out perfectly. So Ken's taking amazing pictures of people holding keep smiling cards, and I got to spend time with Terry and all of you. So
That's
everything worked
right.
out perfectly.
Yeah, sure did. Thank you so much for being here. I love you and have
Love
a
you too.
good rest of your night. Bye, honey.